Okay, this is 3 o'clock, and we will start our Python lecture. So as you can see, again build my project, a small short description about my company. It was started in 2016. It has contribution in training sector as well as industrial project sector. The both had been given a same equal chances for that. In training, our vision and mission is to train this Indian people as Indian students. Our means me I'm taking myself also to train it with the newest technology of this world, and even not for this training purpose, but we want our India to even develop with the latest technology, where we need to show this a more contribution towards Make in India. And here are some of the companies where we have cooperated, like Corporate Cancer, Reliance, Infosys, and also we have also collaboration with IITs and NITs. We have school clients also, where we teach in school, and we have projects and placements in Godrej, Minda, Satyam, and you can see all type of companies. We have collaboration from even the biggest company to the placements company to colleges and school as well. So you can see this whole these are the newspaper where the Build My project was being showed discarded. So you can see over there. And our main domains are the workshops. We did school robotics. We also train school students. We have industrial project. We have kids training. We have internship providing you, and we have FDP. FDP is nothing but training the corporate people from corporate from a small child which is in third fourth standard to the corporate level. We teach every part of them, from even like maybe school kid, kindergarten kids, school kid, higher secondary, engineers, and corporate freshers, and corporate level high freshers. We teach every part of them with the new technologies. As you know, the technologies evolving every day, but still we need to keep on going, so we do that. And here are the technologies we are working. We have more than 50 technologies working, and 50 technologies working in our company, and we have a hands-on best experience on this. We can show this. And this is the trending technologies which you can see anywhere in the world. And within those trending technologies, first you started with the Python. So this company came up with this training sector online, so we came up with the first, one of the most important sectors is for the Python one. So we are training for that. So we are moving for the workshops and things. Okay, so this was a small description about company, and here I end about this. And last time what we ended was we were talking about the operators, arithmetic operator, comparison, logic operators, assignment operators, and list data type. So I told you that I explained the last time about what these data types and what these operators are. So what I will do today, we will take all the practical sectors, how it's going to happen. Okay, so this is a this is, I'm really sorry for this. It was just a spot. Okay, so we will be yes, sorry for inconvenience. We will move further. So what we are studying about we won't be doing any explanation. We will directly go for the program. So this is a program we did last time, and we move further. Now, as you know, last time what we did, we basically created the list, right? But we created a static list, means we created the list and printed the list while typing only. What if someone wants to create so much data, and it should get a dynamic list? I can tell you about. Just take a further. I won't be explaining you. Just see how it happens. let's enter the list. Says okay. Okay, so this one is questions, and let's now print, and we will print that list. Now what is we are making is nothing but actually we are making a dynamic list. What we are making? A dynamic list. Okay, so we will go further and we will see how it's gonna run. See, this one enter the list, and I will try to put some data, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. I enter the list, I put it data, and see, I'm getting a dynamic list. Means it's a, why it calls dynamic, because it's not fixed, right? Last time what we created, if created a one type of list, 1 2 3 4, it's immutable, mutable, changeable. We can do that, that's fine, but we cannot do but it was static. Once it created, we can do things with, we need to do with that type of list only. But here what I'm giving opportunity, that we how we can create a new list while just uploading a data. Understand everyone? Just you can write, this is one of the most important stuff where you can create a list dynamically. This sequence can be created, you can other tuple and dictionary also. So move further with the next, with a new one. Different phase of creation list, to create a list by using a built-in function. Okay, so what we will do, we will use a built-in function of the list, right? So here I delete this whole part. You can take a pause and just copy this, because actually you need to learn so much about everything. So we'll go for just a bit faster. I won't stop for your writing. You can just afterwards you can stop and take a snapshot. You can write the program, that's fine. So list again, list 1, list 1 is equals to list. Okay, this is a list function, and how, what is actually basically is this, it's creating an empty list, right? The whatever the I list created is an empty list. So if you see last time, what was actually the bracket of list, it was a square brackets, right? If I try this is list as a, if I write something 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, what is this? This is the data inside that. And if I try to run those things, and it will give me an error, right? It will try to give me an error. Why? Can anyone have any doubt, and or anyone can me try to give me that? Mm-hmm. Because the parent built-in function was not just making a list, but I didn't expect it, or didn't try to do that, how to give a data to a list, right? I created a list, but I didn't write a data on that list. Once you will try something else for this list. Okay, again, yeah, this is one of the creating a list. What is another way of creating an empty list? List 2 is equal to, okay, so can this both be same? Yes, both are same, both are creating an empty list. Yes, the important was that creating a list. I didn't tell you that what should be within the list. The important is the creating a list, and after that you can immute, you can make it if you can immute, and you can add the data in that list. But here that's very much important, that how to create a list. Sometimes you will require just to create the list, you don't require, because sometimes in a program you don't know what the data will be, right? Right, while writing a program, if you're making a collection of a data which should be in a list form, you don't know what the data will be, right? So first there is this list, that yeah, that program, that data should be fixed in a list. So what was important first, to create a list. So that list will be basically empty only, because you don't know which type of data will be going to store in that. So what will we do, we will just upload those data inside that list, in list bracket. But before that, the created list will be empty. And after that, after creating an empty list, when the data comes towards you, and you can just add those data, as we used in a last time array indices purpose. Okay, we will add those. We will move further, and I will tell you after creating a list what you can do with those lists also. Okay, so you can pause again, you can take. So let's try to write a list, or you can say equals to word list in a different format. How this can be done? List 1 equals to list. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not explaining what I'm doing. Just see after what I'm trying to do. Just understand this. You can see over here. What is this? SAURABH. And what I did, I created a one list within those inbuilt lists. But last time you can see I didn't try if whatever I created a list was 1 2 3, I write put given the numeric data, but it given me error. Let's try that error. Try that one more time. 1 comma 2 comma 3, that's it, this much only, and try to run this. What is it trying to say? List expected at most one argument, got 3. List expected one argument but got 3. So what is the actual meaning of this inbuilt function? If we go to about to write inbuilt function, inbuilt function inbuilt function which is list. Okay, it's a this is an what is this inbuilt function? What is the actual, what is the meaning of this? This takes only one argument. What does it do? It takes only one argument. Okay, it takes only one argument. So now what if I try to write, so if I given you 1 comma 2 comma 3, this was a perfect of creating a list, but it requires argument is just a one specific name. And over see, you can see last time what we did. Last time I just given a Saurabh just for letter. It wasn't having any comma between those my letters, right? So it created itself given me words again itself SAURABH in a all style format. But what if I try to write? So if I still want to upload this number, can I get this now? Int object is not iterable. Int object is not iterable. Understood this guy? How I am creating errors? Because we are going to try to do different type of data which is creating by the function, and which one is possible and which one is not possible. What if I try made them as a string? What if I made them as a string? So 1 2 3, now the data is created. Now the data is created. So what is basically this list inbuilt function do? Whatever the word, whatever the letter you will give it to him, it will be convert that whole letter. It will convert that whole letter into a list format, data format. It will divide every part, every part of it, and will take only just one byte within that, and will make it as a form of list data. What if what about the space, right? Example, here I given space 1 is space 4 5 6. I have given a space and 4 5 6, and I will try to run this and see it will count that space also. What it will do, it will count the space also. 1 comma 2 comma 3 space 4 comma 5 comma 6, this inbuilt function will also try to provide those sequence, those number. It will 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 space 5 5 comma 6 5 comma 6 5 4 comma 5 comma 6. This will be a data, means whenever whatever you will write, whatever the argument you will write within that this list. Let's try to write those definition only. Okay, whatever argument you will be giving to this, the argument we will be giving to this built-in function, it will it will uh, it will give output in it will give output in list data format. Okay, understood this? So we have written, you can pause again and write the whole. So move further, we will see any other ones. What if I try now? 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? This is I convert into string form, but still, I still want my numbers, right? I still want my numbers. So what if I want numbers in my form of data? So do I need to write every time? Do I need to every time 4 5 6? So what is the reason of creating a list? So if I need to write data my own self, okay? So what we will try to do? We will try to create those data now. What we'll do? We try to create those data in this format, again in writing format. So there is a one more function which is called range. There is one more function which is called range 1 comma 10. List range 1 comma 10. I will try to run this and see. I'm getting my number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Did I am I getting all numbers? Am I getting all numbers? No, right? Because yesterday what we saw that this indices, it will follow the indices rule. The first number what we have given, it will count. The last number it has given, it won't count. So 10 is been not counted, and for within that list 10 is been before the 10 it was counted. Okay, so what if I want a 10 in my data form? I will write 11 and it will give me this a whole 10 number. Understood everyone? And as you know, this number is never ending, so we won't be, or we always have a plus one for plus one factor in any type of range. Understood everyone? So this is another type of making a list or doing something with list. Okay, so we'll move further with an index. We learned about the indexing method. Okay, indexing list. What is basically indexing? Now here yesterday I was talking you about, I mean telling you about the two type of format. What one is from 0 1 2 3 4 5 and another is minus 6 4 5 6 1. But I didn't give you the actual what are basically those are definitions of those, right? So there are two type of indexings we call. Okay, let's take one more part. There are two types of in two types of indexing method. There are two types of indexing method. Okay, so here if we come with a one is a positive indexing method. One is a positive indexing method and other indexing method, and other is negative indexing method. one is a positive method, another indexing method. So what if there is a list data, one type of list data, that is if I'm creating 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, if there is a numbering, I am explaining you more detailing because you need to understand this what is a positive. So if I'm trying to write positive, then it should be 1 comma 1 comma 3 comma sorry 2 comma 3 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, what if I try to write, what if I try negative? So how it will come, it will give me -5, minus -4. I will just give it a bit space and try to write this. mm. Okay, and try to understand. I'm not supposed, I'm not wasting much time on this. -3, -2, okay, I will try to write again. So I didn't got that, I thought it's only 5 per 5, but it's actually the 6. So in this it will start with a 6 itself, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. This are the first, for the first column, the first row is for the positive indexing and second column is for the negative indexing. So understand this thing, this is actually how it's understand. And 0 is not in the negative extending because this is actually given by Python itself. There is no specific reason why there is no 0 within those, and why that this is have a positive, this why this is have a 0 within those. Okay, so this is a part of a list. If you come up with a list, how the list has been doing. Now here we will move further and we will see, about a what is a dictionary, what we are trying to say. Let's say before dictionary we will try to deal with a tuple. What we will try to do with a tuple. Yesterday we will talked about first what was tuple, right? Tuple was something which was immutable, right? Tuple was basically immutable. We didn't understand what the tuple was actually formatting those things, but how the tuple was created, and we didn't extracted any data, because as from we can see the data, but we cannot change those data from those tuple part. Okay, so give me a minute. We will just move on tuple, and we will see how this tuple takes place in those. What are tuples are called? Immutable. What are we called it? Immutable. Now, before, as we talked about, first thing that I was telling you about, what is a tuple, what is a dynamic, right? Can we create a dynamic tuple in this? Can we create dynamic? Is it possible? As we know that tuples are immutable, as we still know that the tuples are immutable, but still, can we create that? Any guess? Any, you can get comment, guys. You can comment, and still I will get to know. Can we create or not? Okay. So I will move further. Let's try. Let's make it fast, and we will try to create a tuple. See, we are trying. Okay. I don't know, because this is totally dependent on our part. I will try the same function, input, and again This should be in definitely in a string. Okay, if you are writing, if you are creating this, enter the tuple. Okay, and I will, what I will do, I will try to see tuple print. I will print whatever I have created, whatever other tuple I have created, tup1. Okay, this is, I'm trying to run. Okay, this is giving me a chance to create a tuple. Let's see it's creating a tuple or not. 1 comma 2 comma 3 3 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Let's see, it's creating a tuple. Yes, as you see, as I talked about the curly if the something, the data is within the curly bracket, what is it called? It's called tuple. So we can create a dynamic tuple. So we move further for the next example. Now can we see, as we know, there is a, we can store a data of a different type of data, right? The tuple, we can see the different type of data, right? But can we know about which type of data is being stored in tuple? Example, there is a vast type of data and you want to know something, like which type of data bin is they have put it on. So let's try to, what we'll try to do, we will try to see the which type of tuple is being created over there. Okay, tup1 is equal to, and what if I give them, what if I give them, just wait a second, just, what if I try to give them one string data, and I'm Saurabh, my name again, pride of my name. So I want to see the which type of data is being stored within this tuple. So what we write, I will write type, and I will see which type of data is stored within this. Okay, so let's see it will give me the part or not. Yeah, I need to print this, right? I need to print print the type of the tuple. So it's giving me the string, right? It's even giving me even not just uploading the data is part in the tuple, but is also giving me what is a class, means what is a class of that tuple, right? So even it can understand, it has so much intelligence that even if I want to know the which type of data is, even in spite of just knowing the data, but which type of data is, so I can do it further. This is one of the helpful things that even you can understand that how this the data can be. What if I try to I try use more than one comma 1 comma 2. If I try to do more than 2 times, is it, let's see, it's give me tuple, it gives me tuple. If you are trying to write, so let's see what if instead, I'm just without, before in conclusion, I just try to try to see what type of data it should give me. It's give me tuple. And what if I try, see, it's giving me tuple. What if I try this, it's giving me int. So this tuple is intelligent enough to understand if there is a single data, if there is a single argument I have given, and if that single it can understand what type of single argument it can be. So I don't need, just I told you in the first lecture itself, in the magic of the Python is that you don't need to describe it as with is in its int class or something. You just need to upload directly data, the itself Python will understand it's a int or something else. So I was getting comma 2 comma 3. I was not getting any was not getting any type of this any type of class for this. I'm just getting a tuple, it was a tuple. But why I'm getting for 1? Because one argument is understandable, one argument is understandable. What if there are 2 or 3 programs, maybe they are in a same, maybe they are in a same. So in spite of what if I try to do 1.1, 1 is a float and 1 is an integer, so the class can't be described. Class is been described for one total argument itself. class is specified for the total argument itself. If it is understanding for more than one argument inside that, and maybe both are same, but it won't go for that, because in tuples and lists are used for the bigger data, also used for the larger data also. Maybe we have thousands type of argument within them, so it won't check, it will reduce the speed of it, and it won't give every time different string, class, string, int, string, float. It won't give that, because it is useless, because you don't need to understand it. Because if you are creating such type of data, what you're gonna do, you are creating a different type of structure, you are creating different type of program. But if you are having a one argument or a one type of data, this is more than sufficient to understand that it's a string or an int. Okay, so understand this, the argue for the one purpose it can understand, for the many purpose it doesn't have any requirement that it need to be understand or not, it will just give it that it's a tuple. Okay, so we will move further and we will see what this tuple can do. Can we create an empty tuple? Can we? As same as it has a built-in function, just like a built-in function. Can I create that? Let's try to see. Okay, this is a type they have given, I need to write. Okay, it's giving me an empty bracket. What is giving me an empty bracket? Okay. I was just playing. So we'll move further. It was just creating an empty tuple, and how it can be created same way as a list. So for this, as we move further, and I will try for, if I will try if I will try to write the tuple data type. And so there is a one more function, which is inbuilt function. In function, which is tuple. What does it do? It creates the tuple. I'm not saying the data within the tuple, it creates the tuple, and the same way it will work for those data only. Example, if try to write tup1 is equal to tuple and within that, if I give any argument like Saurabh, and I try to print that if I try to print that top one. Okay, so we'll try to run and exactly like just like a list, it created a tuple for me. Okay, so if I again will try to write the example range from 1 comma 10, and again it will run the same way. So the factor of creating a tuples or creating a list is totally same. Just they have a matter that it the for for previous one, the list we are talking about, it was a mutable, reducible, changeable. But in here in tuple we can create the same way, but it is immutable. So both functionality of creating and storing are same, but you can see when it's further used in a programs, in a while large programs, some of the lists should be always permanent, some of the data should be permanent every time. So we tuple some of the data which can changeable, we can use list at that time. So every function has a different prosperity, and you can use in a different languages, or you can say it in a different ways. Okay, so we'll move further and we will see how the again, as we're talking about the even in the same way, the tuple data and positive index indexing and negative indexing. So don't need to worry. Now we will see some of the examples which is also compatible with tuple itself, because as they have a both, as both of them has the same type of indexing. So what we will try with a tuple is, let's say there is a range. Okay, there is a tuple over given, so we need to will print tuple. Okay, what if I want, okay, let's create a tuple. We won't be, it will be easy to understand better. Okay, if I'm creating a tuple one, let's say ABCD, it will be more easy because numbers and with the numbers are a bit confusing. And for me, I have a bit habit, but still I need to explain you more clearly. Okay, maybe that's actually, but today's students are so much further and so much intelligent that they can understand this computer language further, because the computer is so handy now, because as the mobiles and things are so much available in their early ages, from that even 8th and today's students have a this mobile from even 8th 5th standard. I have seen a 3rd 4th standard student who's carrying a mobile with that. It was a smartphone. I got my latest phone when I was in the first year of engineering, and students are bit smart. This is a very good thing that people having a development in that sector. So we'll try to print this. We see is any giving any error. A is not defined. Okay, I mean, if you are giving a one character type now, always try to define them in a string way. Okay, in why we take numbers, because we don't need to define it every time. But if you are taking a character, you need to define it as a string way. Okay, so under take this thing. We'll try to write down that note also, that's important. So one more note, whenever we are using character, we should, sorry for the disturbance if you are getting any background music here. Yeah, as I'm working from home as a due to coronavirus, so family, every family members of my family are at home only, so you can understand how the home things work. So I'm really sorry for that. I will try to do, it won't happen when I will go to office. Okay, so we will try. Whenever we are using character, we should use use semicolons or single colon. Okay, understand this. If for using a character, um this is also for string purpose, so for string values, also for string types of data. Okay, so we move further and we will see, and what we are trying to do here, as we get the character, is it going to run, and it will give me the again the same tuple what I have created over here. So what I will was we were trying to do, we are trying to do some part with indices. Yes, we saw some of the example, that's how to extract the data, but can we use some more interesting part? Example, if I try top 1, if I try 1 plus 3, and I trying to print that example, I take C is equal to, and I try to print that C. Okay, so whatever the data 1 plus C, it's a indices, right? So indices are basically, you can even add or add, you can subtract. So see, let's see is it working or not. A B C D, and I'm getting value E. What is this? E, it is basically E is 1 plus 4, 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, right? And that 4 is was 0, and this is a 4. What is a 4? 4 is positive. 4 is positive. So 4 is positive, so it will be 0 1 2 3 4. What it will be? 0 1 2 3
4, and what is a 4? 4 is been printed as a C, which is equal to nothing but E. What if I can I same try this with a top one as a minus purpose, like 2 minus 5. Can I do this? And you can say, if we see this, give me your answer, you try to answer this in your own self, like 2 minus 2 minus 5, what is it? It's minus 2 minus 5 is minus 3. It's not 3, it's minus 3, because 2 minus 5, because obviously you're doing a programming, so you need to go to you need to use, we will get a logic answer only. Okay, so 3, what is minus 3? Minus 3 is negative. Minus 3 is negative number, right? So this minus 3 is negative, and we'll try to print that D. Okay, so let's see the answer. So according to you, minus 3, if you tried the answer, what you will get the answer? Let's check. Is it matching with your answer which you have predicted? C, it's coming C. So most of you have predicted itself, that as I have already have showed you that how it's going to be minus 3, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. It started with a minus 1 from a back side, so it will be like minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and it will C will be the answer. You are getting C. And if you are getting C, if it's same with the predicted value, very good students. It requires more of time to understand the indices, but you still able to give those answer, and that is really interesting, because now you have a perfect way to understand, a perfect way to look how the this data should going to work. Okay, let's do one more thing, and this is also you can say possible with even it is also even possible with our list all the with a list list data types also. So if you try, if let's do a homework. Let's take, if I'm doing with this with the tuple, you go for the list one, try to create a one list and try to do these things with the list itself. I'm taking 1 plus 4, you take any other number. Okay, another number I'm taking here. I took here a character. You take string characters, so you will like a string data, I meant to say string data, and try to do those in that. Okay, and try to do this with a dynamic, like create a one dynamic data, and after creating a dynamic data, try to use this indices, so it will you have a more practice on that. Okay, so let's see. We will try to type one more type of way. So let's take E is equal to top 1 and wo. Okay, length, that is for one more function. It's a length, it shows the length of data. So length of top 1, length of top 1, and then minus minus 1, minus 1. I need to print this. Well, let's see what will be the value of this. According to me, what will be the length of this tuple? Can anyone tell me what is the length of this? Is it 1 0 1 2 3 4? Is it 4, or it is 1 2 3 4 5? So let's see what will be the answer. It will be 4 or 5. So again, and if it's coming 5, if it's coming 4, right? Let's okay. I will try to do. I will say R is equal to, okay, length of that tuple, length of that tuple. Okay, and I will try to first print that length. What I will to do, first print that length, it is 4 or 5, and after that, if you get the answer, and after try to do, you predict this answer, what will be the actual REU. Okay, we will try to run and see. We will see 5 and E. So what is let's see. I write just answer over here, and we will try to see how it came that answer. 5 and 5 and answer was 5 and E. So you basically R is equal, R was, R what was it? It was R 5, R was 5, and E was nothing but, E was, means E value is nothing but E only. Okay, so what is the length? what is the length? The length is 5. So is it showing it is counting from 0? No, it is counting from 1 2 3 4 5 6. It's just counting a number, just like counting a pencils, or counting a number of pens in counting a number of pen within your bag, right? Counting a number of pen within your pouch. Obviously you can't count it from 0. Yeah, although we name it from 0, but we count number of format, how much quantity we have. So it's like 1 2 3 4 5. So its quantity is 5. And if I want to print -1 within this less from 1 minus 5, so it will give me the value 5, because here in a tuple, when this tuple gives the me answer, it gives me in indices form. So what will be the actually bit? It will be 5, 5 minus 1, 4. So now while giving a name, or while giving me the E value, it will be A, B, C, D, E. It will be for this one. So the counting the length is different, and when the length is -1, here comes, it will give me the value of E. Okay, understand this thing is really pretty simple. Just a bit simple logic, how indices, how I use this length within the logic of indices number. This is totally simple of that. Okay, this is how we use a tuple. More seamlessly, we created a tuple, we try to do things with tuple. Okay, let's see what if I try so you can try these things with your list also. Try to do all these things with your list also. So you can pause and you can take all value. So now what I'm trying to do, what I will try to upload, as I told you while explaining the list, sorry, explaining the tuple. I told you that in tuple is immutable, right? So within the tuple I can create more different types of more different type of tuple, or more different type of data also. So it's not only that 1 comma, even I can write 1 comma 2 comma 3. Let's check 4 only, and I will go further. It's comma, and I can use a string. So okay, comma, and I can create one. Okay, let's see this other data. Is it going to going to run? Let's see what is. So if I'm writing in a wrong way, as you know, this tuple, this Python can understand the wrong way, and it will give me in a proper format. So if I'm writing anything wrong, or if I wrote in anything in a wrong way, it will give me a proper way of it. So let's see, it's come error, or it will run or give me a proper way. 1 2 3 4 5 saw, and again Saurabh with a single quote. So this is a magic of this, that it creates me itself. What does it do? It give me itself one type of data. It also give me one type of data, that I can upload even such type of data. Now your one more homework is that you need to try this with a list, that such the things are also possible with a list or not. Okay, and we move further, and we will see print again. So now what was the main reason of this? I want to show this, that the you can now, can this time indices will my work or not. If I'm getting more 2 or 3 or 4 within that, so uh, what will be the actual value of this time of indices? It is going to work or not? So square braces, let's take 2, and according to you, what should 0 1 2 3? Okay, 0 1 2 3, and let's say instead of printing 2, it's going to give me 2, or it's going to give me so let's even try to print that s. Okay, it's giving me so, right? So the this considered, they have account this comma and within the brackets comma are totally different. We considered the first comma and this comma one as, which one we call it as a whole number, means a whole data itself only. So maybe it's within, so it's maybe within whatever is, maybe within data there is a one more type of data. So there is not much any required. It is still important that how it's been created. Okay, so here we try to run it and we get the value again, so which is 0 1 2, and according to the logic it comes that only. So here we end tuple, how this tuple actually works, how the tuples are creatable, and how we can store more data, different type of data within those tuple. And the homework is that you need to try with the list or not. Okay, so let's add one more point within that. So that the creation of the top of the tuple is same as list, and we can add the data within the data itself. Okay, and you can give the example of such type of data over here, that you can say more types of data. Okay, so here was this type, this data type, and even the numbering is list same. And I will add one more point, indexing is also same. Okay, understood everyone what I'm trying to say you? Okay, this was the notes, and we will move now further for one of the important topic is set. What is it? Sets. Now sets is pretty interesting. If you have learned before about, if you are in 9th standard, 8th standard or 10th standard, you have learned before about the sets. There are sets: A set, B set, and union set, reunion set, decrease set, reduce set. You have seen such sets is basically that only. Now that you are going to perform that sets in a programming language, and that programming language is nothing but, it will have just a programming description. Otherwise it's everything is totally same within that. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so we move further. Just give me a minute. Till then you can revise, but I will just complete my setup. Okay, now last time, while drawing a data type, I give you actually the what is a set, what is a prudence set, right? I give you those compound data types, but I didn't explain you about what is basically sets are. So we will first learn about what our sets are in a programming way, because it has a more bit different concept rather than their school sets. So we'll try to do that first. Okay, so set, I will type first all I will type this for I will first try to do ordered collection. Okay, remember this thing, set is unordered collection of a unique elements. It is in study basis. Sets objects are mutable. Okay, so since objects are mutable, that is nothing but once we create a set objects, we can perform any changes in that objects based on the requirement. Okay, this is nothing but us. It's called a set. Why we use a set in Python? One more reason I will tell you about why we use a Python. We use, if we want a represent of a group of a unique values as a single entity, then we should go for set. Set has following advantages means when duplicates are not allowed in. Okay, let's I will give you the notes. Advantages again, duplicates are not allowed. Okay, this was really important, so I highlighted it. So insertion insertion order is not preserved. Is not preserved, but we can sort the elements. Okay, so these are the one of the advantages why it is not using duplicates are not allowed, insertions order is not allowed, not preserved, the insertion order is not preserved, sorry, it should be preserved. I spelling mistake, it's not preserved. Duplicate but indexing and slashing are not allowed, but we can sort the elements. Okay, so there is one more is very important, that which type of data which type of element does it follow. It follows actually basically are heterogeneous. We'll move further and we'll tell you that what are heterogeneous, because if I explain you won't understand, and even I need you actually to see yourself only, because I'm a more practical man. So I don't explain that much definition, or I don't learn. I need a practical proof that it's happening or not. Okay, so we'll see this thing, what are basically sets are. You can pause video, you can go for that. So we'll directly move on what are sets. So let's see set 1 is equal to curly braces 1 again 1 comma 2 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 6 comma 8 comma 9. Okay, these are my sets. Okay, these are my set. Let's see, instead of sets, so let's say what if I try to write, what if I try some of the same elements. Okay, there are some of the same elements and some of the not, right? So what I will do now, print set 1. So according to you, what it should be value, right? It should show me every time whatever the value I put it in the list and tuple, it showed me the whole bracket whatever the list put in there. But in set 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 7 8 comma 9, how many elements are there? 9 elements. And how many elements are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Instead of 15 elements, what is it? It's 16 elements. What does it basically prove? It basically proves that duplicates are not allowed, right? Duplicates are, is to prove that duplicates are not allowed, and also go with the definition that set is an unordered collection of a unique elements. So in here, every whatever the sets which I have given to you, they are nothing but everyone are unique element. Okay, so we will move further, and we will see that, as I told you about in last session also, this is a sets. And in this, while explaining to you, and also told you about some of which is something called frozen set, something we called frozen set, right? So let's see what is basically frozen sets are. This is one of the one of the part of sets. Okay, so this is not like a very very different from sets. This is a frozen set, means it's one of the part of set. And as some, because some of the order we came of that as of whenever the Python was developed, right? So in Python 2, this was frozen set was not that much capable, but as we come up with a different type of more type of data, more type of different types of things you started coming. So this frozen set was created upon them. So let's see this, what is frozen sets is. Frozen set. So instead of just telling you, I will explain what are these frozen sets are. It is an immutable and new element can be added after it's defined. What is that? What I actually, if you try to write, in my opinion, it is, it is an immutable and new elements can be added after it's defined. Okay, so here we can't use any of the mutation method. We are talking about this on the indexing method. Those are all the or operators. We're talking about those now. The we used to do it the list and tuple. We used to store any other data. We used to change those data. Those are called nothing but the mutations methods. So it was that mutation method doesn't work in this set frozen set. And this operators name with frozen set with the name itself. If you can say with the name itself, it shows that there is nothing. Frozen set is just a froze. It's work as a froze. It's sorry work as a set, but it's a frozen set. If you created one set, it's become a process. You cannot change, you cannot do something within that. It's immutable. It's totally a set with it is a set with the unique elements, and it is unchangeable. Okay, it is not changeable. That is what frozen set is basically means. Okay, so what if I try, to create some of this frozen sets. Okay, let's go on our main job and see. Actually, the constructor is named frozen set. Frozen set, it can be created as an empty frozen set. So frozen set can take a single argument, that is an iterator. Okay, understand this thing. That frozen set is nothing but an iterator, and it will take it also as a empty set also. So can we create an empty set? Let's try. So we can create an empty set, but can we create an empty set? Yes, we can create an empty set. See, it's an empty set. And can we create a dynamic, what I was talking about? Can we create a dynamic set? Hmm. Okay, we'll try to see this. it's creating a tuple, so this is, I think the set is not possible. What if I try in those bracket? It's giving me the within those brackets. So basically it's creating a whole whatever the set, it's creating only only one argument with that whole list. So it's not, I think so that's not possible. Okay, so we move further and we'll see how the sets have been created in different formats. We are talking about the frozen set. So what we'll see, to set equals to, let's try do with a built-in function of every function, every data type has a one built-in function. Okay, frozen set, and again we will try to use range. I will give you the one more function. I will tell you. I will teach you about one more function of range, which is 12, comma. Let's say 10, comma. I will go from till 30, comma 5. Means from 10 to 30. I use first 10 to 30. What is from going from 10 to 30? If I give me comma and one more, I will give you one more part. What it will become? It will become a interval. What it will become? Interval. So I will try to write fro set. Okay, so I will try to run this. 25, 20, 10, 20, 20, 15. 25, 10, 20, 15. 25, 10, 15. Why this is? Why this is frozen set is, instead of giving me 10, 15, 20, 25, what it is giving me? Mm-hmm. As this is a frozen set, and basically this frozen set is nothing but a set itself. So why it is giving me an in a different way? It is giving me only because it is unordered. Frozen set is nothing but a set, basically. Frozen set is basically set. Set is immutable. Sets are mutable, but frozen sets are immutable. But the same way it does, but they are basically set itself, so they are unordered. So it is giving me the right answers, but the order of giving me the answers is not right. Understood everyone? It given me the exact answer from going from 10, 20, 10, 10, 15, 20, 25, and the last, as you know, the last part we don't include. The 30 is been also the interval 5, but as we know, in the range the last part we don't include because of the indexing method. So that is not, that's the reason it is not giving me 30, but it is giving me the answer proper, and but the answers are proper but in a unordered factor. That's called a frozen set. Understood everyone? What is it? You can't change now. If you once you have created this, once you have created this, now you have no authority. You can say, I mean, not authority. You can say you don't have any chance to create or discriminate between what is a frozen set, or to change anything within the frozen set. This is the one factor of how the what is a frozen set. Okay, so here what was create, what we do from we did from the set, and we will run for the frozen set. Okay, so we'll move further, and here we comes for the what is from sets, where we came from dictionary, where we came from dictionary. Now dictionary is, you can say, still not that much big part. Just it comes in the last. It's nothing else. Understood everyone? What is a set, list, tuple, and frozen set? Nothing but most of the parts are same. It doesn't have any index and slicing or purpose, so we are not go. As you can see in the definition itself, in a definition itself that duplicates are not allowed, insertion order is preserved, but we cannot sort elements. Obviously, elements are not sortable. Indexing, slicing are not allowed. Heterogeneous elements are used. Links like this. These are nothing but are heterogeneous elements. So you can't do anything. So we are not going with an example. If you come across any other part where we need some random examples or we need some random data, we use sets for that. Okay, so this is how sets been used every time. So we'll move further and we will see itself for our one of the maze, and the last part of this is nothing but dictionary. Okay, Python dictionary, our most advanced and powerful data collection. Python dictionary is our most advanced and powerful data collection. It has unordered data collection of items having keys. It has a value pairs. It has a having keys and value pairs. You know how we describe, how we given that one that day one comma. I will give you the example itself and you will understand here only why the dictionary is. In dictionaries, key is are immutable and the values mutable. Understand this. Let we see with an example what the dictionary is basically is. If I create one dictionary, right, equals to, okay, and instead of, let's see, if I try to give you a dictionary is a data collector, right, so I will try to give you the syntax. Okay, because it will be more easy to understand. Key, okay, key, comma, key, one, value. So this is basically the syntax, basically the syntax of creating a dictionary, right. Key is a index of value. Key, what is this? Index of that value, and value is a data item. So basically here we don't have any index form which is from outside. As we know, which was the things we created, the positive indexing, negative indexing, there is nothing like that. Here is the key itself is an index, and the value is the data of that index. What is it? A data of the index. So here, as you can know that every time you and every time in list and tuple, what you tried to did, we created a data, and the list, the name itself was given by the Python itself as this number, and this word or this letter or this data has been given that indexing. But here in dictionary, why it is called advanced? Because here you can define your index with your own self. What you can do here, you can define your own index instead of relying on a Python to give the number. You can define your index, so you can use it for the future where you can have a different collection. This is the reason it is called the most advanced and powerful data collection, because the value within that index, you can the value within that intent is very powerful, that it will close that data only. As you know, the Python is object oriented, so the keys and the value, the keys within that value will be extremely safe and security within that key, so it won't extract from any other data, and without that knowing that index. It's just like if you want to extract that data, if you want to extract, you should able to remember that key. It is used for you can say a user interface purpose also, where you can even the server data should be secure, and the user should also doesn't require need to know about what the keys are. That's how this is part about for this. So it is one of the most important part. You can say Python's, it has an unordered data collection. If you know, it has a most having keys and value pair. In dictionaries, keys are immutable and values are mutable, as I told you. Okay, why use dictionary in Python? What come up here? Why we use dictionary in Python? Okay, and I one of my example I give you, but as I see what are the points which I have in my mind, that why we should are using Python in dictionary. Okay, I give you the example. Let's try why we use a Python dictionary. Again, what I will try to write first, we will try to write The definition again, Python dictionaries are most advanced and powerful data collection. Mostly if you want to become a high coder, you should actually understand this, why dictionary is been more powerful. And okay, it you will use dictionary only because if you are at a high order, or you can say if you're using a big program or something, you will use dictionary at a large scale. Okay, you will use the list tuples and everything, but if you come as higher orders where you need to secure your keys, or you need to secure the data, you have to use this this type of data collections for your items. Okay, now as we're talking about advantages, I would have told you an example, but I need to give you the notes as well. So I will try to write those, and I will give it will be more on assignment. It will be used for the future, future as a future expert also. Okay, duplicate keys are not allowed. Mm-hmm. Keep on reading, or you can have. These are the one advantages of actually of actually one there is one more. It's important actually. mm, Dictionary are dynamic. Dictionaries are dynamic and mutable as well. So these are the one of the most important that why we use. Okay, now one more to note you will get things to note it. You need to note this thing. Note means one of the most important point, that in C++ and Java dictionaries are known as maps, where in a Perl and Ruby it is known as a hash. Understood everyone? What you need to note, that in C and C++ it is called map, and in Perl and Ruby what is it called? Hash. Okay. So again we will go further, and we created last semester. Now we will try to create one more dictionary over here. Okay, so this was it. So as you can understand how this will be, h equal to, right, if I write 1 colon saw comma 2 colon trub. Now as you know, I have written is this as a character, so what I have to do, I have to write it in a form of, I have to write this in a form of this string itself. Okay, so let's see. semicolon. Invalid syntax. Acha, okay, there is a one more comma within that. Okay, so I will try to run this again. See, it is giving me the value 1 comma 3 comma. This is a portable dictionary itself, so don't need to worry. This how it is creating a dictionary. Okay, so what if every time I have given, is it important that every time I need to give one or two or a number only? What if I can I give more than and more any other than number, something other than a number? Let's try to give something Saurabh. So let's take uh, let's take first name. Let's take first name as Saurabh, and here if I take uh, if I take last name as my last name is Vaishya. My last name is nothing but Vaishya. So is it going to print me that? Yes, first name Saurabh, last name Vaishya. See, instead of I'm using a double colon, I'm getting the values in a single quotes only. Double quote if I'm using, and I'm getting the values on single quote. This is the actual way. There is nothing which is related. If you are still use single quote, writing in a single quote, you will also get single quote only. Write in double quote, you will still get a double quote only. So there's nothing to mention over there. Both are things are both the time it is right. Okay. So now if I'm giving this, so let's try the indexing method. Now indexing, what we will use, like, now let's, as you know what here, it's a key, so key is nothing but index itself. So if I try first name, though it is a string, though it is a string, you still need to be it is still a case sensitive. It is still a case sensitive. If the keys doesn't meet, is the key is not matching with your dictionary values, it won't give you any value. Okay, so this is how it's going to happen. First name first, the first name, print C and see what the value comes. Again the value is coming over here, so the so the key for that value is Saurabh. First name for the value is Saurabh, so I'm getting the answer Saurabh. This is how actually dictionary works. What is it? This is how actually dictionary works. Okay, so there is a more definition. If you go across a dictionary, you will get more iterable. Dictionary is so vast still used, but the requirement for this programming is this much only, that how the dictionary is created, how the dictionary, how to create the value from the dictionary, what are the advantages of dictionary, how the dictionary is. This tuple fits. You have learned all basic form of it. Okay, now this is on the screen. These data types are basically nothing but a data. This is also called as a data structures. Those are data types, that is right, but you will also come with across with a nothing but a data structure. Okay, everyone, you can understand this thing, how it happened, how it's going to create a more faster way, and more things more things, and we'll have further in now in next lecture. What we are going to learn in next lecture, we are going to learn about flow control, which is loops and conditions. What we are going to learn? Loops and condition. Loops and condition. This is, we come across control statement, nested loops, break and continuous, pass and assert statement. This is one of the most important which you will come across. You have come across if, while and loop, but what if we can use this if, while and loop in a more dynamic way? We will learn about that, which is still a more, as I told you last time, that I will teach you some very important part of Python, which is very important in Python. This is that the dictionary, this is the data structure. It is one of the most important in Python. Why this data structure? Why these data types are called data structure itself? Because Python is extensively, is actually mainly used for handling our data in a very wide purpose, right? If you go in Amazon, Google, or if you go in any other company, bigger companies, where you are if you are able to handle that much big volume of data, that bigger volume, or you can say bigger quantity, the more quantity of data with the help of Python, then those there you will have to use this list, tuple, sets, and dictionary. Okay, and the more deep you go about this, you will find it more interesting, and you can say m- more complicated, but in a perfect logical way. The one thing is really here is more important is nothing but a logic. If you are very good in giving out the logic, then it is very possible that how it's going to happen. Okay, so here I complete my this lecture, and I hope you like this. Try to tell about your friends if you want to. The more, if because if I get a more number of students, I will take this. I will not whatever I'm teaching. The Python is one of the interesting Python, but are one of the it's a Python which is you are using in a data science on purpose. But if you want to learn advanced Python, and you want to take a more excessive, more you can say more complications, so you can tell me, and I will surely try to provide those try to provide those. It require a bit more number of, not more just 7 days, it requires a more number of days, so I will try to do that thing on that part. Okay, so thank you so much. Just remember, this is how the Python, and try to do the homeworks what I have given to you, and thank you so much for this. I completed this stream. I end my stream over here. Thank you so much.